let me do it. I just want to get to floor 3. Well, I want to beat the tower, but I want to get to floor 3. Okay. That's it. Why is this actually impossible? Please. Yes, finally. Oh my goodness, that took a while. Last 4 floors. That does not look fun. Back to normal floor 3 gameplay, I guess. This tower has some intriguing gameplay. It's very, not traditional, I'd say. Because some of the jumps are pretty weird. Like, when have you ever seen a wall hop head hitter in a tower before? Like, you would just not think about that, really. For example, you'd expect a tower to have some client object jumps like spinners, elevators, X-pushers, but this one has weird purism and weird client objects. Neither. That's my choice. Because I'm not... Okay. And back to floor 3. We don't really all love fails. Normal gameplay. This has a lot of weird jumps because it uses a lot of X boosters, which you never really see in a lot of towers, and a lot of timed jump and speed manipulators to do like 2 jumps with. So that's pretty nice. You have to pick one. Okay. 1 is quite the number of all time. I would pick the person so that I can just bust out my old Tommy gun. Because this is America. Anyways, the rest of floor 4, it has some other awkward jumps. Let me do this jump the correct way this time. And then, time to do the rest of floor 4. Floor 4 is not generally that hard, I'd say. The first 4 floors are, like, remorseless. At least, hardest floor is floor 6, and The unsafe floors, I'd say, are considerably harder than the first ascending floors. So, now we have this floor. Last floor before the net, which is before the unsafe section. And now we got this thing. And followed by a walk around. Yeah, so far I'm doing pretty well. Net time. Yes, the net. Why do towers have to have wall hops in them? I just don't like wall hops. They're kind of hard, but they aren't impossible. It's just sometimes they're dumb, and especially in this tower they're netted, but like, just why? Please be floor 6. Okay. And floor 6. Okay. I might loop fail for a few minutes. Maybe even an hour. No, it's not gonna take an hour, but like, I'm gonna loop fail 100%. Who doesn't love loop failing? Because as we all know, if a tower has a net and/or if a tower has button progress and/or a safety net, you're gonna spend a long time because you're gonna have to AFK overnight because you don't want to lose progress. So it's just honey, move. Okay, and then up here. I have not practiced at all, so I'm gonna fail this 110%. Okay, lodge. And then over here. Yeah, this tower is only a little. Oh, come on. Okay, that one was just, I just got unclimbed. And, now time to redo all this. Okay. And now I fail another easy honey section. Oh, that was just... Trust me, I have above room temperature IQ. That again. Petition to ban honey from existence because this tower brings a bad rap to honey. Well, the extension also brings a bad rap to honey, but sure. Anyways, now let's do an actual... Okay, now let's try that again. Now the jump I failed before. Okay, now let's not fail this. tightrope. I clearly jump. Oh, come on. Well, this is an amazing day. I knew I was gonna loop fail, but I didn't think I was gonna loop fail this much. Well, at least this is the hardest part of the Tower Raw gameplay-wise. Please do not fail the unsafe section, even though I am 100% going to fail the unsafe section, because that's how life works. There is never not a time where you would not fail the TOUH floor 7 through 10 section. If you do not fail the floor 7 through 10 section of Tower of Unsettling Heights, the insane tower that's bottom low insane inside of Lost River, and you are not a person. Well, let me just do good. Oh wait, I forgot. I'm playing a game. Okay. What the? Come on! My sanity is slowly deteriorating, 1 second at a time. Is there a single moment where I can play this tower in peace without being reminded of my very severe illness called skill issue? Because skill issue, fun fact, is something that if you have, you can never get out of your system. For example, if I'm gonna do this, I'm probably going to fail one of the first 5 jumps of the outside. Outside, it's not really an outside, but it's still, if you fail, you're done. But the only problem is that that's also inside the frame, so I can't call it an outside, even though it is, I guess. Okay, I'm done loop failing. Now let me just fail so I can move on to something else. Don't look down. Okay. Eek. As you can see, this is quite an outside section, and it lasts for the entire rest of the tower. But that is quite the unfortunate timing. Well, anyways, time to move on to another tower that is also of the insane difficulty. The only difference is that this is in a different area. Instead of in the Great Inferno, it's in the spatial system. So anyways, let's see if I will fail because of either my stupidity, RNG, or just random luck-based nonsense. I mean, those two last ones are kind of the same, but yeah. Let's see, tower of thinning layers. This is a tower that gets smaller as you continue. Let's see if I will be able to beat it. It's funny how the portal room is so much more well detailed and decorated than the actual tower. If only the tower actually fit the portal room. Because people are gonna see that portal room and think this is the most epic thing ever, and just like Tower of Elongated Runs, when they see the actual tower, they're going to dislike bomb the game because of how inaccurate it is. Let's see if I'll be able to make it to floor 3. If not, I will have severe skill issue. Anyways, moving on, we got this wrap stack. Who doesn't love wrap stacks? They make you wrap. Anyways, I feel like this tower can do for a few more wraparounds. You know, it doesn't have enough wraparounds, I'd say. It definitely does not need any more client objects. It has a lot of those, though. Anyways, this is the underside section of floor 3. If I pass this, I'll get a massive net. And who doesn't love nets? Oh, I know. Fish, because if they get caught in nets, they're most likely going to be turned into dinner. Okay, so it seems I am one jump away from reaching a net. I have reached a net. Anyways, time to do some gameplay. And just like Tower of Unsettling Heights, if I see a net, that means it's time to live at Loop Fail Town. Because there's no place like Loop Fail Town. Floor 3 is my home. It's where I live. Sometimes I venture out to floor 4 or floor 5, but then I get absolutely demolished and sent back to floor 3. But sometimes floor 3 just collapses, and then I get sent back to floor 1. Because I got shoved to the outside part for some reason, I don't know. And yeah. Safe to say it's not a good time. Well, I went down too far right there. Back to floor 3. Who doesn't love a good old floor 3? Words cannot describe how much floor 3 feels like a floor 3 to me. And back to here. Let's see if the ladders want to exist today. Or if they just want to simply just stop working. It seems that they have given me mercy. Now time for the ledge climbs. These things should be very simple, but as we all know, our good old pal RNG also likes to fumble around with these. But RNG really likes pairing these two things together, called trusses and high FPS. And as we all know, I have high FPS, so that means trusses are my worst nightmare. Time for our first boss fight, the Walkarounds of Doom. As we can all see, I have defeated that mini-boss, but the real challenge of Floor 5 has not yet begun, because there's one jump that's Floor 5's final boss, as the rest is just a victory lap. After we get through this test of boredom, we should be able to see that wrap stack. Anyways, this is a good way to tell how many people have low attention spans. Okay, we have made it here. Now, just do this little walk. And we have made it to the wrap stack. This is the final boss. And as we all can see, that was pretty easy. I feel like he should get I feel like he needs more armor for the next update. Unless he just respawns, I guess. Like right there. Floor 6. A calm before the storm. This floor is pretty simple. If I fail it, I'm gay. So hopefully I don't fail it. Floor 6 has a lot of wrappings, and it also has a few RNG jumps later on. For example, these jumps are pretty easy, but this jump is kind of difficult, as it also is sort of a squeeze. These cylinder wraps are pretty simple, right? But then you have this thing, and then there's a chance that you don't climb it. Here you got to stay climbing, lived on the floor 7. And here we got the truss floor of all time. In this floor, you have a lot of trusses, and you must trust yourself to be able to do this floor without failing. It's not too difficult, I'd say, but there are some jumps that are kind of annoying. And now we have the cave. Now we have the concussion floor, because as we all know, you cannot survive this floor without getting a concussion. Your Roblox avatar will very much thank you for the 8 trillion concussions you get on this floor alone. So here, we move on to here, and we get the jumps of doom. These jumps are actually impossible. Okay, and I passed the jumps of doom. Here we got the 3 stud, wraps. Stickouts. 3 stud wraps are free. Why would I say that? Okay, and I failed to squeeze, and back to floor 8. At least I passed the concussion section. So my character's brain will live on to another day. Or not. As he realizes he has to go through the floor 6 test again. Floor 6 is not too bad, but for this little guy, it might be a little doozy for him. And back to the truss floor. Do you trust that he will be able to make it past here? Let's hope he does. Because as we all know, passing these sections are quite difficult. And this guy needs as much determination as possible to make it to the end. For example, even though he fell to floor 1, he's still gonna try and make sure that he is able to make it to the top, because making it to the top is all for him. And no, I did not purposely throw there. I just didn't use my good old first person, because I left my first person goggles at home. Well, time for the boredom test 1.0. The boredom test 2.0 will surely test if you are able to not be bored. And as we all can see, my computer's now broken, so this guy is going crazy, because apparently greater than less than apparently isn't able to align yourself anymore. So here we got this section looks a little familiar, doesn't it? Well, if you think so, well then you'd be correct, because this is floor 1, and I held W too long. If I feel a bit more, then I will go crazy and use boost items, the most dreaded thing an EO can say. Because as we all know, there's no barrier at the end of tower thinning layers for boost items. Wink wink, trust me guys. So now we got the lodge of all lodges, because lodging is very lodgeful. You know what, let me skip it. So here we moved on to the wrapped floor, because this floor is really here to show you that this tower is a wrap. And since that's a wrap, that means I should be able to beat it. Floor 2 itself has a very open frame. Floor 1 has a very open frame because this is the very beginning where the floor hasn't really started to cave in on itself. It is not thinning at all, so why do they not add more gameplay? Well, here's a little thing called laziness. I don't know if you have it, but it's a very contagious sickness that makes people not want to build stuff. Even though they want it, they don't want to put through the effort to be able to get it. For example, this very serious disease has infected me as well, but luckily I was able to get past it, but then it infected me again. But then I got past it again, and I'm still continuing. So here you want to do jumps, and do even more jumps. Because as we all know, jumping is a one-way ticket to being able to beat a tower. If I really wanted to, since I may have passed this floor, I could use a recovery skip and LHJ up to here. But that's cheating, so I'm not gonna do it. Floor 3 is a floor that many people would consider one of the hardest floors in the tower. I would consider multiple floors in this tower to be really difficult. For example, I really think that floor 3, 8, and 5 are quite hard. For example, floor 5 has 2 boss fights, one wraparound and the walkarounds of Doom. As we all know, those sections are physically impossible. Anyone know how they can ever be physically possible? No? Well, sorry to tell you guys, but I don't think they'll make it. As it appears, I am seeing that I have made it past floor 3, so that means onto the RNG floor. This floor is very easy, unless ladders decide to unclimb you for no reason. Along with that, these ledge climbs can also unclimb you for no reason as well. Don't we all love these types of towers? Because they are never going to fail you. Now here we have wraparound. Wraparounds are very wrap-like, and they are jumps that are completely skill-based. And obviously your FPS will help. Time for the walkarounds of Doom again. It seems that I have made it past these said walkarounds of Doom. Time for the wraps that come after the walks. Attention span test. If you don't make it past this, you are officially stupid. Okay, so it appears that the queue line is currently going a little slower, and my Uber isn't taking me to my destination as quickly as I thought it was going to. But obviously, I'm not gonna leave, and I'm staying until I get to where I need to go. So anyways, how's the weather going? Okay, finally I did it. So now on to this section, because I don't have the patience to go through those other 2 jumps. And now we got to this section. The wraparound of Doom. That is my Doom. Anyways, back to floor 3. Who doesn't love a good old floor 3? With absolutely no hard parts, and definitely can't skip the entire floor, as you can see by me actually doing the gameplay. That little guy over there is trying to skip, and he is having a bad day, and I passed him because of that. as we can see, back to the RNG floor with floor 4. Don't we all love ladders? Because ladders are very much not RNG, as we can tell from that bit of gameplay. Oh, and I fell. If only there was some sort of recovery that I could do to get back up. Let's see what people are saying in the chat. Someone beat Tower of Atlantic Depths. Someone beat Tower of Atlantic Depths. Someone said GG. Some people are going crazy. Someone got pawned or something. I don't know. People are weird. Oh, and it appears that I have fallen back to the very bottom. I love being in pain. As we all know, I can very much make it back to floor 9. I can definitely do it today, and I definitely won't loop fail 1 and 2 and the beginning of 3, and I will definitely not loop fail floor 5. Because as we all know, floor 5 is the floor that you never loop fail. No one in their ever right mind loop fails floor 5, am I right? Especially those walkarounds of Doom. Even though they might have Doom in their name, they're not that bad. Or are they? That is what some random person would say. The only thing is that I personally think that those walkarounds are quite annoying because you'd have to walk around them. So there is this type of person who says that this is REM. And yet it's rated mid-insane on the difficulty chart. People are either out of their minds, or they use all the skips and call this REM even though they use the skips and be it unintentionally. Because as we all know, some people are just mental like that. If only I would make it to floor 3, because as we all know, most times I get to the floor 3 bottom section, I make it to floor 4. And if I make it to floor 4, I get a partial net. And who doesn't love a partial net? If you fall through that partial net from like floor 9 or something, then L. If only you were able to pass it. Because as we all know, many people don't have the determination enough to pass it. The partial net. Who doesn't love partial nets? Partial nets are nets that cover a part of a floor. So it is technically possible to fall through them, but they cover sections of gameplay that you wouldn't be able, that would have been much more annoying if you were to fail them. Because then you wouldn't have anything to save yourself. But luckily there's a partial net to cover that one singular second of gameplay. And obviously that one singular second of gameplay is very important. Let's see if any. Let's go to the intermission where we look at where everyone is on the server. Top, Toab, Toys, Toab, Tottle, Top, Towel, Tottle, Toab, Top, Toko, Nothing, Toys, Tottle, Nothing, Toko. And we're back to me. So we are going to play some towers. Towers, this is a tower. So if I played this in Tower of Unsettling Heights at the beginning, that means I played towers today. Even if I'm only really grinding one of them. Anyways, I'm glad that I can go away from Loop Fail City. Because Loop Fail City is one of the worst cities to live in. and no one likes living in Loopvale City. It has a lot of poverty, it has a lot of torture, and even though it looks like you have opportunity, it's really just suffering in disguise. No one ever fails these. And everyone fails these. Because as we all know, these are actually impossible. And by actually impossible, what's my source? I made it up. Because we all love making up sources. For example, did you know that the sun is actually a hot pink? Source, trust me. Let's see if I will beat this tower during this attempt. Source, trust me. For example, the Wrath of Doom. It's not that bad. The Wrath of Doom really needs to be buffed in the next update. People really don't use it after being able to complete it. Why? I don't know. People just seem like they don't really have anything to do with it because it's so easy. Anyways, the thin studs. This tower's cursed with this thing called... If you've ever known the life of a stud, the worst curse to ever be affected by is being able to be made smaller than a 1 stud. Because then everyone hates you for absolutely no reason. Well, actually, people do hate you for a reason, and that's called being annoying. We're 7. This is the land of the trusses that has been, that need to be fighting off some random crazy person called, a Numerc Davek. I wonder who that is. But it seems that the trusses have won. Back to my hometown, Loopvale City. Tower thinning layers, but it's an RPG. We'll go crazy. We need to make it past the RNG defense and get to the wind pad. The wind pad is one really crazy place. Because once you reach there, the entirety of thinning layers is just up for you. You have completed it. You have broken their defenses. You have finally made it to what you've been wanting. But do you really want this? Do you really want to go through the pain and suffering of playing tower thinning layers? Just for what? Just for some insane completion? Just for a cosmetic? A win message? Or just for the satisfaction of knowing what it is? Well, anyways, it was not worth it. Anyways, back to a different area. For example, where should I go? What's the best place to go to? Ring 7, obviously. What's in Ring 7? Well, what if I told you that there was a tower in Ring 7? I know, so crazy. Who would have ever believed that? There's one singular thing that I really want to know where it is. The only problem is that I don't know where it is. This old room where Citadel of True Exasperation used to be. It doesn't exist. Far from a surprising tower, I will beat this. Yeah, how do you do this? Okay, so just dodge that, move over to this outside, which, over here. So just dodge the pink shovels, okay. So, over here. What the? That was dumb. Who made this? I'd like to file a complaint. Let me do what I want and beat the tower. If I don't have the tower beat, if I don't have Far From a Surprising tower completed, then whatever will I do? I will have to live knowing the fact that I have not beaten Far From a Surprising tower. Oh, the very horrible indication. Here? What? Oh. Anyway, it's time for a final stretch or something else. Final stretch is difficult. Doesn't that seem a little overdramatic? Well, that was a funny audio section or something else. Okay, over here. And then that'll be it. If this is the end, then this is the end. Congratulations, I did it the right way. That's a win. And I've reached this thing called a win pad. Oh hey, got a badge.